Well, Mr. Jarba, who is currently speaking with François Hollande, will undoubtedly reiterate the demands made by the rebels over the last 2 years, and they're very simple. The rebels have been saying, give us weapons, give us sophisticated weaponry, the type that will allow us to topple the regime of Bashar al-Assad, the type that will shift the balance of power in our favor. Mr. Jarba was very clear in an interview he gave to the French daily Le Parisien this morning, saying for the last 2 years we have been asking for this and we have got virtually nothing. Now, earlier this week, Mr. Hollande said he wanted to increase military aid to the Syrian opposition and to the rebels. Until now, Western intelligence services have been very reticent to send sophisticated weaponry for fear that they might fall into the wrong hands, the hands of extremist groups also fighting Bashar al-Assad. It's unclear whether they've changed their minds and whether they've got sufficient guarantees now that if weapons were to be delivered, they would actually be used by the groups that France wants to support. First amongst which the Free Syrian Army.
Now, Cyril, it seems that as far as a military response is concerned, the pace seems to be slowing in all quarters, here in France, but also the UK and particularly the US.
In Paris, London and Washington, that's right. They seem to be slowing down the tempo in terms of the decision-making vis-à-vis any potential military strikes. Barack Obama said yesterday he had not made up his mind. His political calculus is very complicated. He wants to reestablish the credibility, of course, of Western powers and in particular Washington on the international stage. He wants to send a very clear message to Bashar al-Assad, prevent the Syrian regime from using chemical weapons. However, he has to avoid in the process triggering an all-out war against Syria, and his political calculus at home is also quite complicated. John Boehner, the Republican Speaker of the House, is now asking that that Barack Obama present his military plans to congressmen. Over in London, also a complicated political equation to solve for David Cameron. The British Prime Minister now has to wait until the UN observers have finished their mission in Damascus before he can decide on military strikes. And here in France, they're also saying that they are now considering all options, pursuing all avenues, including diplomatic ones.